do want to explain my vote a little earlier on the tax abatement. And I would have voted in committee on either a motion to hold or a motion to move to third reading without recommendation. But House Bill 1001, which we've all talked a lot about, is going to change the incentives on TIF and tax abatement, and probably a delay on something in terms of residential properties until after 1001 was passed might have been a good thing. Up until now, as Councilman Pape had said, when there is an abatement granted or a TIF, there is a little bit more of tax that is borne by other taxpayers. But there's been no penalty to the actual local units of government. There are notices that go out on TIF and tax abatements to other units like school corporations. They hardly ever respond, because to take the assessed valuation subtracted as it is on TIFs, or to phase it in as it is with abatements, the assessed valuation that a levy is spread across makes really no difference to the unit, because they're going to raise the same amount of money in their levy. With caps at 1%, 2%, or 3%, it changes the equation. As we're having a debate and have had concern through January, I'm sure it will be a topic of the mayor's address tomorrow. The effect of those caps will be to create a gap in the levy. The incentives change because when we grant an abatement and we take, or a TIF, and we take matters out of assessed valuation, we actually are creating a bigger problem in terms of raising more money if our levy has been cut. So a granting of an abatement, a granting of TIFs in the future, creation of new TIFs, may very well mean that that's a policeman's salary we don't fund. It may be it may be a firefighter we don't fund, or it may be police training that doesn't get funded. There are real impacts. We might be able to afford or have much more of our property tax levy and not have to talk as much about severe cuts and not have to talk so much about replacement from an income tax. And so those are very big issues to discuss on abatements and TIFs going forward, as well as some recent studies that have been completed, notably in Michigan, regarding the use of abatements. And I would concur in what Councilman Smith has suggested.